I genuinely really like Kurzgesagt. They are fucking amazing. It's not a new video by any means. Like, it is 2021, right? But it's a good. I'm pretty sure it's a good video. And I'm very interested in nuclear power. And do we need nuclear power to stop climate change? Do we need it? Because, like, in my opinion, I believe yes. I believe we need nuclear power. We definitely fucking do. It creates so much power, like, compared to what it actually takes. Okay, let's just get into the video. Like, I can explain if they say something about it. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna full screen it. Yeah. Okay. Kurz gesagt, why would we need nuclear energy to stop climate change?
Do we need nuclear energy to stop climate change? More and more voices from science, environmental
I hope that's
activists
good.
and
The
press
sound.
have been saying so in recent years. But
I
this
say so
comes
as well.
as a shock to those who are fighting against nuclear energy and the problems that come with it. So who's right?
Well, okay. My opinion is, we need nuclear energy. I know there's a lot of bad things that can happen through nuclear energy. I know that. And I do agree with some of these statements, but I think in the long run, nuclear energy needs more funding, and it just needs to be researched more. So like these, faults can be. I know it's easy for me to say just ironed out, right? But it's these things they can be like fixed. I know like the radiation it puts out, like there are ways to limit it at least.
It's complicated. To slow rapid climate change, the world needs to reduce greenhouse gas emissions to net zero. In 2018, 3/4 of global emissions.
I agree. Wind energy is fucking pog. I agree, but it's not gonna fucking save us. It's not gonna fucking save us. But for countries like in Denmark, where I come from, where we have a lot of wind because our country is fucking flat, wind energy is very fucking good. But for like in the entire world, it's not gonna be that helpful.
Were released through energy production.
Okay, nuclear it's on the, yeah, and the UK, I'm pretty sure they also like import a lot of trash because wait, no, that's Denmark that does that. No mind. That's not UK. But yeah, it's also very fucking windy in the UK. But let's say that you have a country like, let's say, Morocco. In Morocco, it's the Mediterranean. That's a lot of sun. What do you think is gonna be? I know they're out to the ocean, right? What do you think is gonna help them most? Is it gonna be A, solar cells, sun cells, what the fuck they're called, or is it gonna be windmills, wind energy? It's not gonna be fucking wind. It's gonna be sun power because they have a lot more sun. It's essentially also like the countries near the Sahara Desert. There's a lot of fucking sun, which means that they could get more energy through the sun than they would through wind or other energies. Of course, like nuclear power is also like a very based anyways, right? But yeah, it's just like some countries require other like systems. They can also all just require wind. There has to be
Mainly by
diversity.
burning fossil fuels. Energy is a broad term that describes all sorts of stuff, from moving things and people around to putting things big and small together or heating our homes. Currently, 84% of the world's primary energy comes from fossil fuels. 33% from oil, 27% from coal, and 24% from gas.
Do we still use that fucking much coal? No fucking way. That's so much. I don't ever tell why they need to fucking phase that shit out. Like, I know it's easier to store coal than it is like to save up electricity. Battery and lithium batteries are hard to come by, right? But okay, I'm just retarded. That doesn't really have anything to do with it. Let's just go.
Around 10% of the global oil supply is just used to burn in boilers to make our homes cozy and warm.
That's dumb.
Only about 16% of global energy is from low emission sources, almost 7% from hydroelectric, 5% from solar, wind, bioenergy, wave, tidal and geothermal combined, and about 4% from nuclear. So we pretty much rely on coal.
We're watching Do We Need Nuclear Energy to Stop Climate Change? I really like I think it's an interesting topic. Yeah, I think it's an interesting topic, and it popped up on my recommended today. Please, plus you gotta hydrate, man. I already hydrated.
Oil and gas to keep our civilization going, which means it's actually very hard to transition away from them. To have a chance of escaping fossil fuels without throwing humanity back into the Stone Age, one of the most impactful things we can do is to electrify as many sectors as possible. Electricity is the stuff that appears like magic when you plug something into a socket so you can watch YouTube. Every industry that can switch from burning fossil fuels to electricity needs to do so, from electric cars to electric heaters. Why do we need to bet so hard on electricity? Because we can produce electricity with low emission technologies like solar.
Yes, I fucking agree. I 100% agree. It's the same like with fucking steam engines. Like, they are gonna run on coal, but if you could make them run on, for example, electricity instead, then they're gonna be way less, like, they're gonna produce way less CO2, which is essentially healthier for the environment. I know that steam, what is it called? What did I call them? Like, steam engines, is that what they're fucking called? I don't fucking know, man. I'm retard. I just fucking came from college. Like, I'm retard.
Wind or nuclear. So electricity is a real lever for a radical transition. But there are a few problems making this transition really hard. First of all, in most places in the world, electricity is still generated mostly by burning fossil fuels. And not only that, in the last 20 years,
like
the world's electricity usage increased 73% in absolute terms.
We're like
While we are installing renewables
in front of like most countries, like Denmark, we are going hard in on fucking like wind energy, and we're also one of the countries leading like with the leading like science for. Oh wait, I need to, for. I mean, I'm retarded. Completely forgot. I need to Oh shit, man. Sorry. I have AIDS. I need to change the Steam thing, man. Why did nobody fucking remind me? I'm watching a video. I need to be on, you know, and yes, this is okay. Apparently it's apparently it's in English. I have to become just chatting. Yeah. Fuck. I'll just say that. Watching video, man. Okay, I can't stop video. Man, I have AIDS. There we go. Okay, now I won't get in any trouble. There we go. Okay. Back to the video.
Record speed.
Okay, fuck it. I'm fucking bad at this shit.
At the same time, the amount of fossil fuel we're burning for electricity still keeps rising year by year. Renewables have so far not been able to catch up with the demand for new electricity, and so despite our progress, emissions from electricity are still rising worldwide.
Yes.
The other alternative to fossil fuels is nuclear, and even though it's not renewable, its greenhouse gas emissions are tiny compared to burning stuff. But in the last 20 years, nuclear has basically stagnated. Countries like China, India, and South Korea built.
What up, Autumn? You texted me like about the hat, right? Like, it literally this thing literally like broke. I just want to. That thing fucking broke. Literally, broke like on the ride. So yeah, it's the hat is fucked.
New reactors, while Germany and Japan have been actively taking their nuclear plants offline. Which seems a bit weird if we look at the countries with the most low-carbon electricity in the world that get most of their juice mainly from two sources, nuclear or hydropower. Take France and Sweden.
Yeah.
In France, only around 10% comes from fossil fuels, while 67% comes from nuclear and 23% from renewables, primarily hydro. In Sweden, almost 30% comes from nuclear power and about 45% from hydro. So we know that nuclear energy can work at scale. On the technical side, because of the lack of investment and innovation in the last few decades, the majority of the world's nuclear reactors are pretty old technology that's very costly to replace. In most Western countries, building nuclear reactors has become very expensive for a variety of reasons, like a loss of know-how in constructing them, policy changes, and increased regulatory constraints, so it can take a decade or longer just to finish a power plant.
Okay. Well, that definitely like sound like negatives, but regulatory, like regulationship, well, that could but that sounds like a negative, right? But that's actually a positive. Well, I know it makes it so it takes longer for the power plant to be built, but that at least means that it's fucking safe. It's safe to be used, and that's the fact that there isn't like this fucking problem with it because everything is regulated. Some dumb shit ain't gonna be like, well, there's this fancy company that sells like this thing for like 20 million, this thing we need, right? But Abdul down in the kebab store, man, he has it for $20. So we buy it from Abdul instead, right? You need the regulation so that everything is fucking correct. Like I will say that regulation is, I will champion regulation most of the time. While in some cases it's not the best, but regulation is important. While it does make it so it takes longer, I will still agree that regulation is good.
In contrast, countries like South Korea, China, India, and Russia are able to build new nuclear reactors comparatively quickly and at a competitive cost.
Well, two of those are on. One of those is an authoritarian fucking regime, and the other one is also an authoritarian regime, and the two others are democracies. So, like, take that with a grain of salt. Why they can build so many, at least two of them. We know who I'm talking about.
Cost. Still, generally in the West, the current generation of nuclear power plants are more expensive to build and maintain than most fossil fuel alternatives. There are also the concerns about nuclear waste and the fear of accidents, but we cover those in other videos in more detail. We have designs for nuclear reactors that solve many of their problems, namely small reactors that take less time and money to get started. There are also next-generation technologies that can already turn radioactive waste into new fuel, but so far these have not been deployed at a scale where they can have a significant impact.
If we have that, why the fuck are we not using it? Why the fuck are we not using that shit? Excuse me. So, one of the fucking main complaints about is, oh, it's the nuclear waste, man. It's the nuclear waste, man. But if we have the fucking technology, which is right fucking there, why don't we fucking use it? It's, months. Humanity is okay. I'm just gonna say we're gonna all fucking die. We're gonna fucking die. We're all gonna die.
On the nuclear sector. Considering these uncertainties, some argue that nuclear power is a dangerous relic of the past and that we should just let it go and focus on renewables. But while renewables undoubtedly are the future of electricity, they still have their own huge challenges to overcome before they can take over the vast majority of the electricity grid. The main problem is reliability and consistency.
That's what happens when you literally rely on the fucking weather. You rely on the fact that the sun is shining and there's a lot of fucking wind. But one thing that you can always rely on is that a machine will work as it fucking should, as long as it has its fucking uranium. Alhamdulillah, baby man, and alhamdulillah, man. I'm just saying, like,
It's not always
nuclear
windy,
energy sounds
and the
fucking
sun
great.
doesn't always shine, especially in the mornings and evenings when humans need the most electricity. The variations between seasons don't make this issue easier.
Nope, does
to
not.
make renewables reliable and not risk blackouts, we need massive storage capacities where we can save energy collected when the sun or wind
Bro, I'm down in the stuff you told me about now. Hey, sure.
are at their peak and release it later when we actually need it. Until this is possible, other sources of electricity need to provide a controllable load that creates the reliability of supply that our civilization needs to run properly. Eventually, we will be able to do this with renewables, but we need a lot of batteries or storage power plants. Right.
I don't know what the fuck he's going to say. The problem with what he's saying right here is the fact that we don't have like the capacity to store all this power that we would be producing. Like what we're using right now is lithium batteries. Lithium is fucking amazing, but the problem with lithium batteries is the fact that there's not a lot of lithium. There's simply not enough for us to use, which is why that's a fucking problem. There's already a massive demand on lithium, but like they can't keep up, man. Like the fucking like Chile, what are they called? Like the fucking Paraguay, and then Bolivia. I'm pretty sure also Bolivia. They're the ones where they have all the lithium in the world, but they can't like keep up with demand. And also the fact that these batteries will also be massive. Like I'm talking like massive. If you were supposed to like be able to hold like let's say an entire night's worth of fucking battery life. So storage is also a massive problem, and right now we are looking into other ways of like storing all this battery. But right now lithium is our best fucking chance, and lithium is not the best for this.
Now we simply don't have the tech and the capacities to make this transition fast enough to replace fossil fuels. But even if...
And also, you can, well, let's say it's easier to just store fucking, like, electricity needs a battery. You need a fucking massive battery. Let's say you have a fucking bunch of coal and need that for you need that for a power plant. What you do is you have a warehouse and you just put it there. That's how fucking simple it is.
If we could, there's another aspect we have to take into account. We're not just trying to kick fossil fuels out of electricity, we're trying to replace energy with electricity. If we're going to electrify sectors that currently use fossil fuels, like cars or heating, we will need significantly more electricity than we're currently using everywhere around the world. And if the electricity needs of the world population continue to grow as they have over the last 20 years, we'll need even more. It all comes down to one thing. No energy source is perfect. All have their own unique problems. Both renewables and nuclear energy require time, investment, and technological innovation. On their own, neither is ready to remove fossil fuels from our electricity grid, although activists on both sides claim that they are. In the end, the question is how we want to deal with all these challenges. Should we give up nuclear immediately and at least temporarily accept higher emissions?
No, we should not.
Will we try to extend the life of current nuclear reactors and shut them down afterwards while solving the shortcomings of renewables? Or will we invest in new nuclear technology to get new nuclear reactor types that are cheaper and safer? Or will we maybe do both?
That's actually not a dumb idea. You still like have nuclear, but let that be in like that work like side by side of like renewable energy. Like let it be like a harmonious thing, and while we then slowly phase out like fossil fuels. I think that in my opinion, that sounds like a fucking amazing idea though.
Opinion part
but it's probably hard to do in
starts
like
here.
actual like
Considering the risks that climate change poses for the biosphere and humanity, any technology that has a chance of contributing to a solution should be pursued. That's just good risk management and strategy. If preventing rapid climate change as quickly as possible is our goal, it might be a good idea to see nuclear and renewables not as opponents, but as partners. We know there's no time to waste, so we should keep all of our low-emission players on the field. As things are, both nuclear and renewables need innovation and investment. But if we don't know yet which technology will be ready how quickly, why not just invest in both and see what happens? And on the topic of current capacities, if we take nuclear energy offline right now, then that missing capacity will be replaced, at least partially, by fossil fuels.
Yeah.
Even if new nuclear power plants in the West are expensive, in the long run, it may be cheaper to build them as long as they prevent more fossil fuel capacity being added and paying for the consequences of rapid climate change. So, do we need nuclear energy? Well, it really depends how hard we choose to make things for ourselves. And in a world that's already having a really hard time quitting fossil fuels, why should we make things harder than necessary?
Exactly.
Starting the change process and trying something new is always difficult. Luckily, you don't have to do it all on your own.
What?
If you want to get out of a rut, we've got something for you. We are big fans of Skillshare,
Okay,
an
I'm
online
watching the
learning
video.
community
Yeah,
that
I'm
offers
gonna watch the
thousands of
fucking
classes for all skill levels in
I know
tons
Skillshare
of
is a fucking
creative
amazing
disciplines
service.
like illustration, animation, or film and video. Or you could try a class on home decoration, growing houseplants, or playing the guitar. There's something for everyone, really. Unlimited access to all the classes is less than $10 a month with an annual premium membership, and the first 1,000 Kurzgesagt viewers to click the link in the description will get a free trial. Since we started working with Skillshare, you, our viewers, have taken over 100,000 hours of classes, including our own 3 Skillshare classes on how we make our animations. If you want to learn more about motion graphics, give them a try. And if you need an extra little push to get you going, maybe get started with some advice on motivation and inspiration. We liked the scientific method for artists. Find inspiration, get motivated, and grow your creative skills by Kendall Hillegas. In this class, Kendall explains her 4-phase process for exploring and figuring out your direction as an artist. For us, it was a great way to get into the flow of creating something. But anything that makes you feel excited and sparks new ideas is a great first step. If you want to get creative with new skills and support Kurzgesagt, give it a go.
Amazing fucking video. Amazing video. Raising a ton of good questions and like a ton of things that should be considered in the real world. That's an amazing fucking video.